My name is Ryan and I'm in recovery. I have a cocaine addiction. I've been addicted to cocaine since I was a teenager. I'm 38 years old now, so yeah, most of my life I've been using cocaine recreationally, I guess, early on like everyone else, but it ended up sat alone in dark rooms with doors locked by myself, using 7-8 grams sometimes in one sitting, staying awake for days on end, not eating, riddled with anxiety, suicidal thoughts, things like that, really, unpleasant things. It all kind of came to a head in January this year. There was a particular incident that happened that I'll share in another video at a later date, but yeah, this incident kind of forced my hand and made me pretty much have to face my problem. I ended up telling my family, telling my girlfriend Amy what was happening and the extent of it. I'd kind of loosely told some people before, but given them some sort of like sanitized, watered down version. This was like the warts and all version. That was a shock to everyone, but I think by that point, things were really visibly affecting me. My health was in a bad place, both physically and mentally. I was struggling to hold down my job. I had quite a high level job in the music industry, but I think people at work were noticing what was happening. Friendships were suffering. My relationship with Amy was suffering. There was just a lot. It was all kind of starting to leak, kind of come apart at the edges, I guess you could say. It was like for years I'd kind of had this functional, manageable addiction, but finally I was not managing, not functioning, barely. So yeah, it all kind of came to a head and I told everyone what was happening. The decision was made for me to go to rehab and I had a little period of being clean. I then was clean, I can't remember for how long, a couple of weeks, maybe a month. But then I had a relapse and it was like really heavy, really dark, really the worst it had ever been. And obviously now that my family knew, it made it even worse because they were reaching out to me. I was turning my phone off, I was locking my door. I live by myself in a flat, so I was double locking the door and kind of keeping everyone away. And yeah, luckily I kind of managed to get myself out of that before it was too late. I think it really felt like it could have ended, could have really ended my life or ruined my life fully. But yeah, I kind of managed to come up for air. And then, yeah, plans were made for me to go to rehab and I went. And yeah, I'm just back last week from 6 weeks in a rehab facility. And I got huge amounts out of it. Not just how to stay clean, how to not relapse on cocaine, but also just, how to be happy, how to connect with your conscious self, how to create healthy boundaries, how to practice self-care, how to eat a bit better, exercise, reconnect with friends, just all these things that were being neglected during my addiction. And I want to kind of talk about all of these things. I want to talk about my journey and my process and what's worked for me. I know a lot of people swear by 12 steps and NA and things like that, and I'm in the process of doing that as well, but I don't think that alone would be enough for me. The therapy, CBT, all them sort of tools coupled with elements of NA and 12 steps is kind of what's working for me, and I just want to speak on that, and maybe a few other people might resonate with it and it will help them as well.